In the primordial times, when heaven and earth were not yet clearly distinguished, the human world suddenly fell into a horrific catastrophe when 10 suns appeared in the sky simultaneously. They scorched all living things, dried up rivers and lakes, and plunged the people into a sea of fire and misery. In that moment of life and death, a hero named Hậu Nghệ appeared. With an arm of iron and a divine bow, he climbed to the peak of Mount Conluan, drew his bow, and shot down 9 of the suns, leaving only one to warm the human world. That great feat made him revered by all people, but Hậu Nghệ greatest pride was not the admiration of the world, but his incredibly beautiful wife named Hằng Nga. She possessed not only a beauty that made flowers yield and the moon hide, but also a kind and gentle heart, serving as his most peaceful harbor after his exhausting hunting trips. To repay his merit in saving the world, Tai Vuong Mao granted Hậu Nghệ a precious elixir of immortality. Legend had it that if the elixir were split in half, 2 people could live forever in the human world, but if one person drank the whole portion, they would immediately become a deity and fly straight to heaven. Hậu Nghệ loved Hằng Nga more than his own life. He cared nothing for becoming an immortal wandering the heavens if it meant leaving his wife alone in the desolate mortal world. Therefore, he gave the elixir to Hằng Nga to keep safe in a brocade box, wishing to live out a full life as husband and wife with her on earth until their hair turned white. But the human heart is unpredictable. Among the disciples who followed Hậu Nghệ to learn archery, there was a man named Bong Mong, a treacherous schemer who was always lurking, waiting to steal the precious medicine. On the 15th day of the 8th lunar month, when Hậu Nghệ led his students out hunting, Bong Mong feigned illness to stay behind. As soon as his master's silhouette disappeared behind the hill, he drew his sword and stormed into the rear chamber, forcing Hằng Nga to hand over the divine medicine. A weak woman facing a cornered villain, Hằng Nga knew she could not resist, nor could she let the precious elixir fall into the hands of such an evil man who would harm the world. In a moment of desperate urgency, she opened the brocade box and swallowed the entire pill. Immediately, her body became light as a feather, her feet left the ground, and she floated through the window up into the high sky. Because she missed her husband so dearly and could not bear to leave the mortal world, Hằng Nga tried to restrain herself, stopping at the place closest to the human world, the moon. However, the price of immortality was eternal loneliness. She became a fairy, residing in the cold Kung Kwang Han, with only the jade rabbit pounding medicine as her companion, day and night looking down at the earth toward her old home with excruciating longing. When Hậu Nghệ returned, it was too late. He was in agony, looking up at the sky and shouting his wife's name in hopelessness. That night, the moon was incredibly bright, and he was astonished to realize that on that full, round moon was a silhouette exactly like his beloved wife looking down. Suppressing his grief, he hurriedly ordered people to set up an incense table and placed upon it the cakes and fruits that Hằng Nga used to love most, offering them to the moon palace to send his longing to his wife far away. Since then, every year on the 15th day of the 8th lunar month, people gather to gaze at the moon, eat mooncakes, and retell the story of this regretful separation, reminding each other to cherish precious moments of reunion. If you feel moved by the story of the origin of the Mid-Autumn Festival and this romance separated by heaven and earth, don't forget to give me a like and hit subscribe so you don't miss the next story in this series. Goodbye and see you all again.